Hey, welcome to the process. My name is Dr. John Bush. This is FFPC ADP Patterns 823. A little bit behind. It's 827. Hey, got things to do here. Drafting like crazy. Anyway, this is what's happening now. This should help you in the next week and a half before the season starts here. This shows you what I do. I look at the round. I look at the number of each position drafted. And if you look in the first two rounds, pretty much wide receivers continue this year's domination. First two rounds, there's only 7 running backs taken. And wide receivers, 13. So you're already into wide receiver 2 range area and in round 3, and you're finishing up RB1s at that point. So there's this concept that wide receivers are going to lead running backs at least a level or two. And something else I do, I like to see the ratio, and anything above 1 here, and this number is biased to the the wide receivers. So first 2 rounds, wide receivers. Third round, people are flipping back to the RBs. So you need to plan right there. There you go. It's an opportunity. If you like some RB1 types in the later span of the top 12, then round 3 is when you need to strike, because everybody else is striking there. If you wanted to do RB, then you probably have an opportunity, from what I can tell, theoretically, you could get 2 running backs as RB1s. But you'll be stuck. If you did say RB, WR, you're probably stuck with running back 1s and wide receiver 2 types. Can you live with that? Use your diary. See what's going on. See if that works for you. You could also plan WR, RB, then come back with WR. So you've potentially got an wide receiver 1 and 2 RB1s and a wide receiver 2. So you could pack it that way. But what everybody's doing is WR1s, trying to grab 2, and then maybe rolling the dice with a RB1 type. So again, planning your strategy. You got to work your quarterbacks in and your tight ends. Looks like in the first 5 rounds, the top 7 tight ends are gone. So you need to decide and plan. Are you wanting obviously Kelsey, but if not, can you live with some tight ends that are coming rounds 7, 8, 9? Can you live with that? Okay, you need to decide that. What about quarterbacks? The first 6 rounds, the 8 quarterbacks are going, and the 9th one goes. So if you know a late QB that you're targeting, you have a lot of time this year. A lot of time. So you can use this to plan your strategy. And again, put it in your diary exactly why and where. And again, if you look at the ratio, it's WR, RB, WR, RB, WR, WR, and then rounds, this is entry 10, 11, 12, it's RBs. They come back in round 13. They're equal. And then 16, 17, 18 wide receivers, and even 18 and 19 wide receivers are dominated even late. So I think this will let you plan. Another way is to look at this ratio and plot anything in this range is WR related. So you can see the WR, WR, 3 WRs, 3 RBs. Isn't that interesting? There's this symmetry. That tells me that people, regardless if they think they have free will, there's this cognitive bias and fantasy to balance your team. I understand. I feel that way too, right? It's not like I want to draft, say, 7 wide receivers in a row. That's that's tough. You know, if they're all values, do you deliberately, no, I can't do that? I'm not sure that's successful. But you know what? I've never tried that either. So this is stuff you might try in mock drafts a little bit earlier in preseason here. But anyway, this is where things are at now. Make your plans. Use this as planning material here. Okay, so then I break, and so that I left one block of things I like to do. Another block is to look across the board. I think I do the top like 300 drafted in FFPC, and I take the average of the ADPs for the 3-4 positions and just figure out what teams are showing what strength and what position. So in green are the top 30% in that position. The red are the bottom 30%. Of course, no color is in the middle there. So the 40% in the middle. So you can quickly scan at the team level what the public, doesn't mean what you think, what I think is what the public's thinking. And for instance, Arizona, they love the RB versus everybody else, and they really are not in love with any of the tight ends, even though the Zach Ertz is there. Okay. Atlanta, Pitts and Bijan are getting the play, not the quarterback, not the wide receivers. Isn't that interesting? Drake London is not being highly thought of. Baltimore, all about the quarterbacks, all about Mark Andrews. That's where the public thinks the eggs are going. Don't like the RBs at all, at all. Buffalo, quarterbacks, and that's about it. They are actually, other than Diggs, not enamored with any of the WRs. So if you think there's some bargains there, that shows you that you can probably catch some there at this point. Carolina, no bargains, no green. Chicago, all about the running backs, and Fields, the quarterback. Burrow, Cincinnati, wide receivers. So right away, you can look and see what each team's perceived, in quotes, strength is. And you can plan accordingly to that. So I use this, make some plans. So I think you can spot sleepers by this, or at least undervalued and maybe overvalued. And you can kind of get that prediction of what's going on and where it's at. Okay, so that's a tool I use. Let's go to at the team level and player level. Okay, I think I'm going to not record this right now. I think we're going to, Dennis and I are going to, on our Data Lab podcast, maybe we'll go through all these teams and it'll be there. I'll post the static images anyway. Okay, more later. Let's knock these drafts out.